Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Mary Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in this week's top stories, we hear the opinions of the press corps in China on how they received the grand opening of Tzu Chi Suzhou Health Promotion Center. Next, we meet 9-year-old Luo Weizhe, who demonstrates wisdom beyond his age and is a role model for his peers at school. And in New York, a photography exhibition of images from Hurricane Sandy is held at the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office. We start off the show in China, where the grand opening of the Tzu Chi Suzhou grounds and the Health Promotion Center was successfully concluded on March 27. On the day of its opening, some 20 local news agencies and media outlets were all present to witness Tzu Chi's historic moment. With the Health Promotion Center's opening, it is sure to be a staple facility for local residents to seek medical treatment. Let's take a look.
Media journalists from both Taiwan and China gather here at the newly opened Tzu Chi Suzhou Health Promotion Center.
This is such an elegant environment. I hear that regular free clinics will be held here. I think it's truly moving.
Because of my work schedule, I'm not always able to go back to Taiwan for medical checkups. But now, with the establishment of the health center, I can take care of my needs here.
Moved by what they have witnessed, journalists translate their emotions into words.
慈济慈善事业基金会是台湾著名的慈善团体之一，一直致力于社会服务。
The news of the opening quickly spread across the internet, newspapers and television throughout the country.
The news of the grand opening was reported in Chinese newspapers and mentioned Tzu Chi's monthly free clinics and an on-site professional medical team that will safeguard the health of local residents.
I think this is a great place. Everyone here is so cordial and polite.
The concept of combining health and disease prevention into health checkups is a great concept worth promoting. They are extremely moved. They haven't ever seen a hospital infused with such humanitarianism, and those who enter here can feel it immediately.
Capturing Tzu Chi's humanitarianism through their cameras, in the eyes of these journalists, not only is the environment warm and inviting, but is also filled with volunteers who are dedicated to safeguarding the health of all.
Also caring for those in need are the staff members from Suzhou's Jingsi Books and Cafe. Last year, Huang Zhenzhong from Taiwan suffered a stroke while in China. Without family there to look after him, the staff members from Suzhou's Jingsi Books and Cafe stepped in to help. Recently, Huang returned to China to thank those who helped him in his time of need. Back in Taiwan and recovered from his stroke, Huang Zhenzhong, however, never forgot the help extended to him by the staff from the Suzhou Jingsi Books and Cafe during his time of sickness. Therefore, today, he has made a special trip back to China.
I had a cold and so brought some medicine for it. Around the same time, I was staying up late watching TV, so my blood pressure went really high and I had a stroke.
6 months ago, Huang was in China for work when he had a stroke. Alone in China with no family or friends by his side, it was the staff members from Jingsi Bookstore that came by every day with vegetarian meals.
It didn't matter the weather outside. They would always arrive with lunch and dinner. Eating the light and nutritious meals they prepared helped me recover faster.
Never forgetting the help extended to him by those staff members, Huang was determined to come back one day and say thank you to those who stood by him in his time of need. Moving to South America, in Chile, a forest fire caused by a construction mishap in mid-February destroyed 284 houses and affected the lives of 1,200 residents. To help the disaster victims, Tzu Chi volunteers held a relief distribution at a local gym in the city of Valparaiso, where a total of 394 families received aid supplies.
Unloading packs of relief supplies off the truck, today Tzu Chi Santiago Liaison Office in Chile is distributing daily necessities to victims of a forest fire.
We have prepared relief supplies for more than 400 households. The items included 6 sets of plates, 2 pots, 1 frying pan, and 6 sets of knives and forks.
Today, in a local gym in the city of Valparaiso, Tzu Chi volunteers are handing out relief supplies to fire victims of a forest fire that occurred in mid-February. Currently, most of the survivors are still living in temporary shelters. However, they are filled with hope.
The fire destroyed all my belongings, but I think it is important for me to put behind my sadness and move on with my life.
Now with relief supplies in hands, these fire survivors are ready to set aside their sorrows and move on with their lives.
In Haiti, Tzu Chi volunteers held 2 blessing ceremonies where they handed out moringa tea bags and seeds to promote the planting of moringa trees, which local residents can sell as a cash crop to help develop their economy.
Following a devastating earthquake in 2010, residents in Haiti are slowly rebuilding their homes from ruins and gradually getting back on their feet.
Over the past 2 days, we organized 2 blessing ceremonies in Port-au-Prince and Cap Haitian to inform local residents about what Tzu Chi has done worldwide in the past year.
Through Tzu Chi's events, local residents can better understand the NGO's work, and volunteers can expand their activities smoothly in the local areas.
We explained the benefits of moringa trees and told them how to plant it. Following our explanation, we asked them if they would really plant the seeds. Most of them raised their hands and said they are eager to plant the trees.
The moringa tree is also called the miracle tree for its high economic value. Therefore, by actively promoting such crops in Haiti, volunteers hope to help local residents leave poverty behind.
Today, March 30, at the Hualien Jingsi Hall in Taiwan, 3 performances of the musical adaptation of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents will be put on by teachers and students from Tzu Chi's education mission. One such performer is Luo Weizhe from Tzu Chi Elementary School, who is a diligent, helpful child at home and at school.
Helping his parents out in the kitchen is Hualien Tzu Chi Elementary School student Luo Weizhe. At the dinner table, Luo discusses his day at school, and hearing his father speak of the war in Syria, the young one takes the words to heart, making it an entry in his school communication book.
Mr. Zheng Yan often asks what will come first, tomorrow or impermanence. I feel that those in Syria are living in the middle of impermanence.
Learning of the suffering faced by the victims of the civil war in Syria, Luo does his best to try to influence his own environment and peers for the better.
In helping my classmates, I have made a lot of friends. By creating a cycle of goodness, more disasters can be averted.
Despite being an only child, the young man is not spoiled by his parents, but instead, his family encourages independence and uses logical reasoning for communication.
He was never one of those children you needed to keep in line. Even when he was young, you could discuss things with him, and as long as he understood your reasoning, he would change or accept it.
Luo is handy with the wrench. This hobby was something his grandfather shared with him. Although his grandfather passed away when he was 6, the young man still remembered him with a sense of gratitude for all he taught him.
He told me all that he knew, so in that way, I could learn new things.
Luo's kindness and gentle heart has also made him the apple of his grandmother's eye.
I want to thank my mom and dad for raising me.
On the weekends, the young man will spend time with his grandmother, volunteering at the local Jingsi Books and Cafe. Meanwhile, at school, he does his best to guide his classmates.
He will quite naturally acknowledge and affirm the achievements of his classmates. His thinking is, as long as you are doing good deeds, you don't need to worry about what others think. Using his low-key approach and mild manners to remind his classmates of what is proper, they are all willing to listen to him.
He has changed the way. Now I get more praise from my teacher. I think Luo Weizhe is really a great friend.
Together with his friends, Luo is taking part in the upcoming Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents musical. Asking the 9-year-old what he thinks filial piety is, he answers without hesitation.
It is simply helping my classmates to the best of my ability.
Another person who is practicing a filial life is Zhang Yulin. Zhang is a staff member of Guanshan Tzu Chi Hospital, and despite her long hours at work, she still travels to see her mother, who lives in Duoliang, which is 78 kilometers away. Zhang feels distance is never an issue, as seeing her mother smile brings much happiness to her life.
OK 好，那我等你的消息喽，哈，好，感恩感恩嘿。现在要挂吗？中午12点再来挂，12点整挂有前面的号码。
At the Guanshan Tzu Chi Hospital, manpower is limited, yet there are many patients who need attending to. Busying about without even a second for rest, Zhang Yulin nevertheless treats everyone politely and with patience.
Because there are so few of us here at the counter, we may not remember everything. So sometimes patients will correct us and say, "No, that's wrong. It's you." Hello, reception.
At work, Yulin juggles many tasks at once. Sometimes she even registers checkups for seniors in town, and she is also well known for her good temper.
She's a fantastic girl. She gets along with everyone. She's great, very filial too.
With one hand answering the phone and the other sorting out her roster, Yulin is on duty for all shifts. But despite her busy schedule, she never misses the opportunity to visit her mother. Departing from Guanshan and arriving at the coastal Duoliang village, some 70 kilometers away, is a 2.5 hours drive. Yet this has been Zhang's road for the last decade.
妈，我以为你在那边呢。啊？我刚叫你呀。啊，你今天没有去那边吗？
Upon arriving home and not seeing her mother, Yulin next checks the fields. The lush green rice fields are the result of the painstaking efforts of Yulin's mother. Concerned about her mother's safety when working in the field, Yulin has wanted to move back home many times.
为什么不要跟我住？
你没有办法啊，你上班。
每次哈妈，你看到我都很开心，然后都会抱我。你回来了，就这样子。
你上一次回来，我看你还是照样，
还是一样哈。
A warm hug assures worried hearts. Not a day goes by without at least a phone call home. And Yulin visits her mother 4 times a month.
She's very filial. She was naughty when she was little. I'm happy that she's back. I'm very happy each time.
Happy to see her child safe and sound, the smile on Yulin's mother's face never fades. And in the eyes of Yulin, it is her mother's happiness which brings the greatest fulfillment.
It's an indescribable feeling. Although she doesn't speak of it, I can feel her happiness. When she was younger, she always worried over us 6 children. But now that we are all grown up, we are more considerate of her feelings.
Mother and daughter hand in hand. For Yulin, the companionship and harmony of family is the greatest happiness and blessing of all.
Also in Taiwan, at the age of 52, Li Tianzhi of Taichung was diagnosed with oral cancer. It was during his treatment for the disease that he met Tzu Chi volunteers. After being discharged, Li became a recycling volunteer to pay back the love shown to him during those difficult times. Now, Li has found a joy in his life that money can't buy.
Here at the recycling point in Taichung, volunteers are busy separating recyclables. Among them is 57-year-old Li Tianzhi, who is here most days of the year. Taking a closer look at Li's face, one sees that his left cheek is scarred as a result of surgery to remove cancer from his mouth and gums. At Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital, Li underwent 6 rounds of chemotherapy and 30 rounds of electrotherapy to beat his cancer. By his side the entire time was the support of Tzu Chi volunteers. In gratitude for their love, Li joined Tzu Chi as a recycling volunteer.
Coming to the Dali Training Center, the volunteers told me about the work I could do at the recycling point. I slowly became part of Tzu Chi and have been doing it ever since. He's here almost every day of the year. He's very steady in coming here.
Over the past 3 years, Li has been a constant sight at the recycling point. He says that the more time he spends recycling, the happier he becomes, and it has helped him recover from his surgery.
I'm very happy here. Working here with my fellow Tzu Chi volunteers, everyone shares in the Dharma joy. Working here, everyone has a great time.
Li Tianzhi says it took his sickness to wake up to the importance of caring for his body. Now, starting his life anew at 57, with Tzu Chi in his heart and mind, there is sure to be joy in the days ahead and years to come.
Moving to the United States, it has been 5 months since Hurricane Sandy, and Tzu Chi volunteers continue to help those affected by the disaster. Recently, a photography exhibition was held at the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office. The images from the disaster site, relief work, and Tzu Chi's fundraising activities were all well received by passersby.
Fifth Avenue in New York City is bustling with activity as usual. 5 months after Hurricane Sandy, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to care for those affected by the superstorm, and the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in New York has also organized a photo exhibition.
By capturing the image from the disaster site, we are telling everyone a message that when a disaster strikes like this, we must be awakened.
All New York City volunteers were mobilized to help decorate the venue and hang the photos up for display.
It was a difficult task to pick the photos, but we only had one goal, and that was to choose the images that would help our viewers understand our message quickly.
The photos included those of the disaster site, aid distributions, as well as fundraising activities around the globe.
Our last photo was a South African resident folding her palms in thanks, and it may look like she received help, but in another way, she helped us more than we helped her. We wanted the viewers to know that it is a greater blessing to be able to give.
Among the visitors pouring into the exhibition venue is the director of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in New York.
We are very glad and comforted to see a non-governmental organization like Tzu Chi stepping up to carry our disaster relief work and letting U.S. citizens understand our love and care for them.
The printing cost of all 78 displayed photos were paid for by the entrepreneurs from the Chinese community in hopes of inspiring more people to help survivors in their recovery.
It's wonderful to see that people of so many faiths gathered together for one cause to help people that were desperately in need. I think that what your organization is doing is just to bring the knowledge and educate people.
The best part about what Tzu Chi did, which is amazing to me, was that they reached out to undocumented immigrants, people who don't have their papers. And I just thought that was a great gesture and, really putting money where it was needed.
Each photo brings back memories of the devastating storm 5 months ago and is a reminder to the public to give whenever and wherever needed.
On the west coast of the United States, in California, Dodger Stadium is holding a Taiwan night. Tzu Chi volunteers were invited to take part to perform a drumming show from a section of the musical adaptation of the Water Repentance Sutra. As the performance is coming up, volunteers are rehearsing their movements to make sure everything is flawless. Let's take a look at their rehearsal.
With the beating of the drums, volunteers at Tzu Chi Almaty Liaison Office are united in efforts to present the best performance possible for the upcoming Taiwan Night at Dodger Stadium in California.
When I'm drumming, it makes me think of Master Zheng Yan in Taiwan. As we are far away from her, the sound of a drum reverberates within, and it feels like the Master is calling us to awaken our inner love and our inner bodhisattva.
With the professional drum teacher at the head of the class, each student starts with the proper stance, as this is the first and most important step in learning drumming.
This helps our concentration and our mind will not wander, so it's a meditation method as well.
The youngest volunteer is an 11-year-old girl who is here with her family and friends.
When I'm drumming, my heart is soothed. In practicing with my friends, we can build upon teamwork skills and share our experiences.
experience.
Everyone not only synchronizes their hearts in the process, but also hopes to inspire goodness to spread as quickly as the drum beats.
Did you know that by making a purchase with a credit card, you can help needy people? In our next report, we meet Wang Huizhen, who uses her Lotus card to help those in need. But first, let's learn more about the Lotus card issued by China Trust Commercial Bank.
At a press conference for the 20th anniversary of Tzu Chi's Lotus card, China Trust Commercial Bank announces the release of the signature and titanium versions of its Lotus card.
When a cardholder purchases something with the signature or titanium version of Tzu Chi's Lotus card, when a user purchases 1,000 NT dollars worth of items, China Trust Commercial Bank will donate 5 NT dollars to Tzu Chi.
We want to pass on the concept of helping those in need without adding extra burdens to our card users. Cardholders can help the less fortunate gradually.
Over the past 20 years, through their purchases, 300,000 Lotus card users have generated more than $450 million that has been donated to Tzu Chi.
If anyone applies for a Lotus card during this period of time, you can receive a free gift such as Jin's aphorisms book, Tzu Chi's instant rice, or Jin's tea.
As a Lotus card user for 19 years, entrepreneur Wei Liangshu joins the event, hoping to encourage more people to sign up.
After joining Tzu Chi, sometimes I feel guilty when I purchase something, but after using the Lotus card, I can feel less guilty about it.
This is the only credit card I have had for the past 20 years, and it is Tzu Chi's Lotus card.
This is Tzu Chi volunteer Wang Huizhen, who only has an organ donation card and a Lotus card in her wallet. She says 20 years ago, she decided to apply for the credit card because of the name.
I really like the word Lotus, so when I heard the name Lotus card, I was very happy. Even better, if I make a purchase with this credit card, China Trust Commercial Bank will donate some money to Tzu Chi to help those in need.
Back then, Wang was not familiar with Tzu Chi. However, soon she realized that her mother was already a Tzu Chi recycling volunteer in Tainan City. Last year, Wang Huizhen was finally certified as a Tzu Chi commissioner. Wang's mother, who guided her on the Tzu Chi path, was ecstatic.
Of course, I'm very happy. It is great that she can create a good affinity with Master Zheng Yan and follow the master in doing good deeds.
From a Lotus card user to a Tzu Chi commissioner, Wang Huizhen says she will continue to be a happy Tzu Chi volunteer and help those in greater need.
At the end of the show, we head back to China and travel with Guangdong Tzu Chi volunteers on their visit to a senior home. The love and care volunteers show these elderly residents during each visit makes the seniors look forward to these events. We will leave you with these images. Have a good weekend. See you next week.